I ain't gonna lie. Watching the party die in Atlanta right now is low-key satisfying. It's high-key satisfying. I ain't even gonna act like I'm not enjoying it because I am tired of these street dudes trying to mix their culture that is totally upside down, that is totally rooted in, to me, CIA government COINTELPRO manipulation, and push it into hip hop and try to make hip hop be something that's street. Try to make these rules and codes that they don't even follow themselves. Watching the party die in Atlanta right now is tickling me. I love it. It has to happen because a lot of what has been going on in hip hop with these street dudes is very anti-black, if you ask me. It's very CIA operation coded, trying to push these codes and trying to push these rules that the people who laid them down didn't even follow them themselves. So a lot of what I see a lot of ignorance and ego, and it has to die because there's a new day. Right now, we got bigger fish to fry. If y'all not listening to the war bells that these people are ringing, you missing the point. And so I have to come out here and say something because all I was going to do was pray. I said, I'm just going to pray. But then I realized I prayed for a platform to speak on this. I prayed for a platform to actually say something and have my voice be heard. When I said, I'm going to just pray. When I put up that prayer, God said, you have a platform, brother. The universe whispered to me, you have a platform, brother. And those thoughts and those energies and those ideas made me come out and say this because I ain't going to lie. I don't want to sound like a Republican. I don't want to sound like I'm using right-wing talking points in order to talk about the issues that's going on in my community, but they have to be said. It's crazy how you'll get a Jay-Z is a capitalist video. You'll always get a Beyonce's a capitalist and Beyonce this and Jay-Z that, and even Killer Mike. I've been seeing Killer Mike getting his back kicked in. I mean, this is coming from one specific content creator, but I've seen it throughout the internet. These people getting their back kicked in for trying a method that they believe to work. Nobody is saying anything about Young Thug. You hear about Police City, but you don't hear about the reasons why they're trying to bring Police City and Cop City into Atlanta. And don't get me wrong, I'm just like the mayor of Baltimore. I have family ties to Baltimore. The people, my godparents, my godmother is tied into Baltimore to the name. She is a school named after her, and she helped me. So I love the city of Baltimore, and I love the city of New York. I'm always been a component of, we need to pour more resources into getting kids off the street with activities and different things. We need more community. We need more community than we need policing. But when you look at what's going on in Atlanta, it ain't people that are lack for resources. It are people who have access to crazy amount of wealth, that have access to people. If they don't have money, they got access to people, and people is more powerful than any form of currency. People is the real currency. So when I see these content creators constantly calling out the people who are trying their best in order to provide a solution that isn't street oriented, that isn't let's go out here and let's sell all these drugs. A lot of these dudes try to talk about rules and code that they clearly don't even follow themselves and push it on everyday people as if because I was born in this neighborhood, I'm supposed to follow your rules and your directions. When you show me you a ruthless killer, you show me you all about fighting and solving your issues in the most animalistic type of way. When we have these, we can use these, and we're the best when we use these. But this is my problem because when are we gonna call out them? When are we gonna call out that? Who's gonna call out that? Anti-snitching movements and all of these anti-black things that pigeonhole you and put you into this box to where you're damned if you do, you damned if you don't. So where's the Young Thug videos? Where's the deep dives into organized crime and why organized crimes exist and why it still continues to exist? You can't have all of these community outreach groups and not talk about who's actually selling the drugs. You can't have the Black Panther Party in Philly and not talk about why the police are in there. Why is this interaction happening? Who's doing the drugs, killing and stealing? Is it the CIA? Let's get to the bottom of it. Where's it coming from? So a lot of this street stuff just feels COINTELPRO to me, right? You see a lot of infighting with the left, with the far left people. Oh, I'm a card carrying member. I pay my dues. But you in my platform calling me a B word, but you tearing down another brother for Drake. But you see that all the time infighting. They didn't knock down Cornel West. They didn't knock down Bernie Sanders. They didn't knock down anybody, right? And for good reason, right? If you ain't for reparations, then you definitely deserve to be knocked down. Bernie be for everything but reparations, which is crazy. And that's the thing, is like you see all this infighting on the left, but the right and the people that think very right leaning, yo, they on it. They together, they locked in. Trump is an idiot. They still locked in to the death. Us, we infighting all day. Killer Mike, Beyonce, Jay-Z, video after video. And it's like, bro, why not talk about Young Thug and the crime that is causing innocent people to get killed? But you know, if there was more resources, Young Thug is rich. All of these dudes that's beefing right now are wealthy. Shout out to Gunna, keeping his head down, minding his business. Now, I'm not trying to get into street politics because street politics is ignorant, it's full of ignorance, and it's full of ego. It's full of people dying to prove to other people that they tough or that they gangster, when really, who own the block? Who the most gangsters who the most gangsters right now? Trump moving like a king right now, but nobody's calling this out. It's all this infighting. Everybody's trying to fight left, trying to fight right, but they're not looking up. These are the wealthy people trying to put these stupid rules on the youth, on the kids, and they crashing out and going to jail, losing their life, making it seem like prison is lit because they got a dog or a cell phone and they got a bunch of honey buns. It's really sad what's going on right now in Atlanta. It's imploding. It's imploding due to, I mean, who was trying to get at Saha? Somebody was trying to get Saha up out of here. Had him doing doubles and flips all over the road and stuff. Why? Who's the real enemy? You should try to build with the proximity. You shouldn't try to destroy the proximity or try to pick and choose. I always said this, man. People don't want the right message. They want the right messenger. And that's why nobody respect the Chance album. Straight from the streets. They want a hardcore killer, a thug, in order to listen to them. That's why I don't be listening to a lot of these guys. What have you done in your life that makes me respect you? What have you done besides terrorize your own community, terrorize your own people? I will never be a Charleston White ass motherfucker. Hell no. But there's a reason why Charleston White gets popular, because people are tired of living in fear from their government, from their own community, from their own people. We can't pour resources into a community that don't want the resources poured into. All of these kids is wearing shiesties, talking about they YNs, running around switches, and that's what is promoted. And you look at a lot of these OGs, they're the ones online kicking this shit. This is why Nas ain't respected. This is why Tupac ain't respected. They try to dig up his legacy every few 4, 5, 6 months and denounce him or whatever. When this man got proof that he at least bust at the police, at least he was busting at the police, at least he was speaking up, at least he was getting angry and aggressive and speaking up at these, and he was calling everybody out. Yeah, it's a lot that's going on, and we don't have unity on our side. You constantly see people infighting. I think Professor Scott was talking about it. It's called Calling In by Loretta J. Ross. How to start making change with those you rather cancel. And talking about how all the infighting has been a big issue. Everybody trying to cancel somebody. Everybody trying to, Culture United. I want to take down Culture United. Bro. Look at What's the Dirt doing. Look at academics. Enjoying all of it. Getting all the content. Everybody yelling on his platform. Whack 100. This person, that person. Coming on there. No matter what we do good, that's what them folks are going to point to. Because there's no reason for that. These people have access to wealth and money. And yes, resources need to be poured into the community. But what is the community right now? Hip hop ain't street, bro. And I will stand on that. Hip hop has been in our blood and been in us since before the white man ever even paved the street. Think about what people are saying. The street. Do you know what the streets is about? It's hood culture. The hood is beautiful. The hood cooks plates. The hood used to have baseball games, used to have cookouts, used to have block parties. Now you can't have any of that without the streets trying to ruin it. Anytime you have an event, y'all keep the guns, everybody keep peace, everybody keep safe. So no, I don't agree, and I never will agree. Hip hop is something that you live, it's something that you are. It's not something that you do. Rapping is something that you do. And we got a lot of rappers in hip hop that are trying to push their street culture and agenda, because at the end of the day, they try to position themselves as extortionists. It's a lot of extortion in hip hop. It's a lot of leeches. A lot of, give me a little son, I'm gonna shoot this up, right? A lot of extortion. A lot of conniving tactics. And how can you blame the people when they learned everything they learned from that white man? We've become it in certain parts. We've become it. We've used their tactics in order to build. Do I agree with Killer Mike with capitalism? Yeah, a little bit. I do. We can't feed our army. We can't clothe our army if we don't got no money, if we don't got no power, because we ain't never seen free market capitalism. We've never seen it. We've seen socialism for the rich. We've seen technocracy. We see corporatization. We've seen corporate ruling, basically. That's all we've seen. The wealthy controlling everything. I don't know what you can call it, whatever word there is out there, the isms and lisms and all of these labels that we gotta put on things. Are you a lefty? Are you a progressive? All of this shit, man, when the right wing, they not asking none of them questions. So there's a war going on outside, man. And I ain't gonna lie, watching the party die, I love it, because I'm ready. I'm ready to go to these municipal buildings, because that's what it is. That's what we need. At the end of this video, hopefully you made it this far. Comment, like, subscribe, ring that notification bell. If we looking into a solution to all of this, we need an absolute work stoppage nationwide, globally, but nationwide. no more YouTube, no more nothing. Turn all your power off. They will not make a dollar. We will stop work. We will starve until we get a fair deal. That's the only way. All of these poor resources, and the game has been so rigged. You got to flip the table. It's time to get extreme. So nobody wants to really get extreme for the cause. We know what we got to do. We know who the enemy is. It's not left. It's not right. It's up. But nobody's willing to actually do the work. We got to starve. We got to we got to get armed and go to these buildings and call them out. We not doing nothing. No more truckers. No more instant nothing. No more paying your phone bill. Everybody got to go there and say, nah, we need a better deal. If not, all you're going to see is this constant infighting. And that's all you seeing in Atlanta. Niggas don't really know who the true enemy is. Or they know who the true enemy is, but they scared. And so how are we asking these artists and the Killer Mikes of the world and the Jay-Z of the world to be extremists when we not ready to get extreme ourselves? We know exactly what we got to do. As goofy as Drake has been looking in the last 18 months, it's just as goofy, if not more goofy, because we expect that from Drake. I think Kendrick has planned all of this up until this point. He is willing to see how far Crody gonna go. So we expect that from Drake. What we seeing from these other guys that claim to stand by some standards and rules, I don't get how you have standards and codes and rules and you doing crime and you know what I'm saying? You have a code of ethics for being unethical. That shit, it doesn't make sense to me. But look at how goofy these people is. I'm gonna spare you because this is just my raw thoughts and I might have been everywhere, but we gotta stop fighting with the Killer Mikes and the Jay-Z's of the world. There's a clear enemy out there. There's clearly issues going on in our community. Clearly. But nobody calling them out because the streets and people scared and people fearful. People don't want to open themselves up to this type of negativity. And that's the problem. We scared. We know exactly who's hurting us. We know exactly the ideology and the thoughts and the vibrations and the whatever. We know what's killing us. We know exactly what the issue is, but yet we won't call it out because we're afraid to look like we Republicans or Charleston White or whatever. I don't even care, but I know exactly why people disrespect Nas. I know exactly why they disrespect Tupac. I know exactly why they disrespect conscious music or backpack music or whatever other term they want to give it. Hip hop in its core is a socially conscious movement. In its beginning, it was designed to party and to get people away from their ills because it came from disco. It derived from rock and disco. And then it started to be an awareness movement, giving people awareness of what was going on, of our conditions. And eventually it started to become, we like our conditions. We are monsters and we're killers and you better not mess with us. And if you look at the major artists, that's not what they about. How many artists have passed away in the last few years? How many rappers? Because a lot of this ain't hip hop. A lot of it's something that they putting on to get money. It's not something that they're living. So they want to live street culture and hip hop. We have to make that divide. We have to. And it ain't cute. You could be proud of that. I'm more on the Lupe side where I'd rather be peaceful and have prosperity than to have the conditions that would create hip hop. I really believe that. At first I was like, Lupe's tripping. But I know in my heart of hearts that hip hop is in our blood. Shout out to KRS-One. When we spit our hand on the wall, the art, the music, the beat, the drum, everything is in us. The hip hop would have got figured out a different way. It would have been different, but it would have got here anyway. So I believe that. I believe that we could take away the conditions that were forced on us. The CIA, COINTELPRO bullshit that was forced on us. The FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, Ronald Reagan, these big figures that they forced on us to turn us into this, to turn us into a tool of go to jail or die. That's what it is. It's the options. Go to jail or die. It's the options. The gangsters don't live. I would much rather have better conditions than the conditions that were used to create hip hop. And because in my heart, I believe we would have got it anyway. We created every other musical genre. And at first it was a call out to the heavens. It was call out to the creators. It's all gospel to me. It's all ghetto gospel to me. That's all hip hop is a different version of ghetto gospel. But I've talked y'all ear off enough. I don't even know what the purpose is of this video, but I will tell you, watching a party die in Atlanta is extremely satisfying to me. And it will continue. Be safe out here, man. It's a crazy world in 2025. Comment, like, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a video. Donate to this Cash App. Anything's appreciated. Join to be a member. Link is in the description. Reedmysole. Out. Peace.